All right, well, I've waited as long as I can, and I don't think I can wait any longer. I'm going to have to see what's going on in here. I checked this hive a week ago today, and they looked like they were getting ready to swarm. They had a fully formed dark queen cell. The queen was obviously within, let me see if I got this right here this time. The queen was obviously within just a few days of hatching. So I had expected them to swarm already. And Saturday came and it was 83 degrees. It was a perfect day for them to swarm. And I was out by the swarm hive and I had bees coming in and out of it all day long. And I've got a swarm trap out front. I've said this on every video. I've got a swarm trap out front. And I also have a Lands hive out front. And both I have organic wax and um, Swarm Commander lure. So I have baited it with Swarm Commander. I've given it organic wax. Oh, you can hear them. They're already out here checking me out. Hi, Mama. And on Saturday, I was so sure that I was within hours of a swarm that I literally sat out there by my swarm box for probably, my wife would do the exact math, but I'd be willing to bet I spent a good 4 to 4.5 hours just seeing what was going to happen. Well, nothing has happened. And my big concern, and the reason I'm getting in them today, is that they didn't have hardly any eggs or larvae or anything in here last week. Well, that's been a week. And if they haven't swarmed and they don't have any eggs, boy howdy, I could be in some deep trouble here. So I thought I'd probably better get in here and just see what has gone on. And this upper box still appears to be about in the same situation as it was last week. So first two frames have comb and nectar and bees digging in it right now. Then you got frames 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll tell you what, they are loud. They're louder than normal. I don't know if you can hear it in the microphone. Okay, they're starting to draw that out. And they've got capped honey up here, which I think is maybe part of what I gave them when I gave them the hive. But they have some capped honey up here. So that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And I'm going to center them over this. All right. So nothing's really changed. And honestly, they seem to have about the same amount of bees as I recall from last time. And last week, last inspection, I didn't get to weigh them because my scale hive had died. So 8.2, so definitely down in weight significantly. I want to say at one point I had 11 pounds on each side, so 22 pounds. Come on. There we go. 8.9. Yeah, so this box already is down 17. It's down 5 pounds of total weight. So what I wanted to do was I needed to come out here and just see what my situation is, because I don't know if they have just decided not to swarm. I don't know if they're still going to swarm and they just haven't, but if they don't have eggs, then this hive is going to get in a really precarious situation pretty quickly. I mean, and it could just be that that's what's going to happen. I told you, I'm letting these bees do whatever they want to do. I'm not trying to manage them in terms of keeping them from swarming. I want to keep them as naturally as I can here. So now I'll have to go back to the tape and see how much this box weighed last time I was able to weigh it. But this time it is 18. Well, that might be up higher then, because I think it was 14. $17. So that's what, 18 and 17 is 35, right? So that would actually be a neat result. Oops, I don't know why I'm taking that off. You know, the one thing I will say too, they seem a little calmer right now than I've been used to them being. I've told you guys they're kind of, both my hives have been kind of pissy, and these ones seem rather calm. Wow, look at the amount of bees on that though. Yeah, it's full of nectar. Like, it's heavy, laden with nectar. That's awesome. That's fuller than last week for sure. All right. All right, so this frame is almost all the way hatched out. And yeah, I don't see any form of life up here. I see cut out queen cells. So I have on the bottom of this frame, you can see maybe at the very bottom, there's 1, 2, 3 queen cells that have all been gone through. And this is what I'm worried about, because yeah, I don't see any eggs. And so what I'm more worried about is that these guys maybe decided they were going to swarm, and then the weather changed, and then they couldn't, and they slimmed their queen down. But I don't know how that part works. Like, would they refill her up? I don't know. So now what I have in here is what I can only refer to as kind of just brood that's all over the place. It's kind of emerging. I don't see any nectar. I do see some, I'm sorry, I lied. I see nectar and in the corners. So this is just remaining a brood frame. But brood there is not. Like, there is just nothing in this hive as far as eggs. And that is my concern. Like, even those 2 frames, they have some brood on them, some calf brood, but I mean, not a lot. This one is almost all nectar. And I am trying to keep an eye out for a queen. So this one's just full of nectar now, all the way. And there are a bunch of queen cells on the bottom again. You can see there a bunch of queen cells that. Hi, Matilda. Or that's Marigold, I think. That's our raven Marigold. I haven't told you guys, but she let me hang out. The ravens let me hang out with them yesterday, and it was pretty cool. This is mostly nectar. That's interesting, with some broken out queen cells at the bottom. All of those queen cells that are broken out were all swarm cells. They were not supersedure cells. So this one's filling up with nectar again. Got some pollen stores in the corners, but again, no eggs. I've got, again, multiple queen cells that have been, they're open. There's not one that's loaded. And I'm beginning to wonder if this hive didn't decide not to swarm. So then what happens? Do they replump up the queen and she starts laying again? Or I don't know. This will be my first time. But I'll tell you, I hope they figure it out quick because we're getting ready to get in the nectar flow. And this thing's already getting filled out with nectar. They got nectar and pollen galore. But again, I don't see any eggs. But in theory, downstairs should be the brood chamber. So it's not totally unheard of for them not to have eggs up here. This is getting filled out. This is solid pollen. Holy crap. That is just all pollen and nectar. So this is a resource frame for sure. And it is full. It's heavy. So that's probably where a lot of that weight's coming from. So all the queen cells that were in this hive so far have emerged or been broken open, which again tells me if they were going to swarm, and those were swarm cells, they would swarm before that queen hatched, according to what you read. They want to make sure she's hatched. And then they get out of here and they leave her be. So she can get mated, but you see right on the bottom of that frame there's all these queen cells, and they are all open cells. They're not loaded. So it is entirely possible that this hive may have backed off of its instinct to swarm for whatever reason, and they may just be deciding to hang out here and fill this sucker up, which would be good. If I have eggs downstairs, that'll be a great sign, because that means this hive will remain strong. They will not have halved right as we're getting ready to go into the busy season here. So, all right. I mean, with the amount of bees in this box, if they swarmed, whoo, I am in good shape. And I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards that may be what's happened, because I full on expected swarms already. All right. Let's see what we got in here. What I have is a lot of bees getting right in the corner. All right, frame one. Oops, I didn't weigh it either. Frame one is getting drawn out, or it's all the way drawn out. There's just light resources in here right now. A little bit of nectar in the middle mixed with some pollen. I'm going to weigh it real quick before I forget. Yeah, I'll weigh it real quick. Yeah, see, that's only 11.3. So assuming that the other side's close to it, and I will, you're still talking 22, 36, and 16, if I remember right. And this one and that one down there are both down, and then the middle one is up in weight. So that's an interesting result. Now, we already know that this frame is just built out and has some resources on it, but that is nectar that they're bringing in. I have not fed my hives at all. I've not fed my hives one drop of sugar because I want to, again, let them do what they're going to do. Okay, now I do have a supersedure cell, but it does not have anything in it. So, I mean, so far, the problem that I'm having is now they have no queens cells, no developing queens, and they have no eggs or larvae, and it does not appear that they swarmed. So then I go, okay, well, what now? Yeah. I mean, again, this is my dilemma with this hive. There's very little brood. I mean, I hate to do this. I've been trying not to, but I might need to go get a queen just to have something to save this hive. Because I don't see a queen or signs of her unless the problem is that she just hasn't been mated yet and she's real small. But I'm looking and I do not see a queen at all. And even worse, they don't have a lot in the ways of like resources. And I really don't want to drop them. Man, I don't know what to do because I don't see any eggs. Like nothing. There's no brood at all happening right here. And of course, they don't get a queen and this hive will die. But I also don't understand because obviously there have been queen cells that have been opened. And although I may just be missing her, I'm not the greatest seeker of queens. This is very concerning to me. Very concerning. So I'm really hopeful that here quickly I'll see a queen or at least maybe some activity because I'm not kidding. They don't have hardly any brood at all. And if I don't get a laying queen in here soon, well, there's another emerged queen cell. And this frame has some capped brood in it, but again, no eggs, no larvae. Come on, ladies, tell me what we're doing here. Like, what is the plan? Ay, 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 ay. There's an empty supersedure cell. I don't know what to do. I'm going to have to actually hit up some people and ask them what to do in this scenario because I don't really know. When I looked last week, I thought maybe they were queenless. Oh, there's another supersedure cell. Oh my god, there's like 15 of them. Yeah. So they are superseding her. Okay. So this hive probably isn't swarming then. This hive is likely. Oh, I think I. No. I thought maybe I saw an unmated queen there for a second, but not so much. Okay. Oh, stresses me out, man. I don't have any eggs. There's nothing in here. But I think that there must be a queen somewhere. But if I don't get eggs within the next, I got to go on a business trip and I'll be back on Friday and I'm going to have to check them unless I see one here. I mean, tons of pollen, but no eggs. Tons of pollen. Oh my god, I hate these animals sometimes. I love them, but I also am driven completely mad by them. They have no eggs in here. I don't know what we're going to do if we don't start getting a mated queen in here pretty quick. This is just all pollen. Pollen, and on this side it's all pollen and a little bit of nectar. Oh, la, 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 la. Well, I don't want to lose this hive. I hope you guys did what you need to do, and I hope she's in there and I'm just missing her. I mean, the way they're behaving is definitely indicative, but I don't think this hive is going to swarm anymore. I bet you more that they are just replacing her and they're going to move forward. I could be wrong. They might replace her and then swarm, but my gut tells me that is probably not what's going to happen here. So, with that, I will close them up and I will go to the other hive just real quick just to see what's going on, because the same thing may have actually happened over there. And then this would be a very interesting result, if you will. But if I have two freaking hives with no eggs, well, Ryan might have just learned why most beekeepers don't let them get this way. Although last year we let our hives go natural too. And although we went into the winter a little bit lighter than I would have liked, I was not depressed with my decision to do that. Oh, come on, Mama. Do that. Make sure everything's set back on here, right? Okay. Oh, come on. Well, that is, as I like to say, that's a result, but it's not one I was hoping for. But I'm going to go with it and see what happens. And just, I didn't do anything to put them in this situation. I haven't manipulated them at all. This is 100% their own doing. And I think now what I have is a situation where they were going to swarm, but instead they're just going to supersede her. And I have a feeling she is out getting mated as we speak, and we will hopefully have laying eggs in there soon, and maybe we prevented a swarm.